Eagerly, he led the man through the corridors, each one spotless, echoing with the soft shuffle of children's feet. The inspector noted the order, the quiet, and even smiled at the rows of neat cots, the tidy lesson books, the scent of lavender soap. Everything seemed in harmony, too harmonious perhaps, but Mercer's calm confidence made it all feel natural. He spoke gently, explaining how discipline was the highest form of care. The children, he said, needed structure, a rhythm to replace the chaos of their birth. He guided the inspector to the dining hall, where rows of small heads bowed in prayer. Each child moved perfectly in time with the others, their lips forming the same words, their tone identical. The inspector clapped politely and told Mercer that he had never seen such devotion among the poor. When they reached his office, Mercer presented the records. Every child had a file, a name, a date of birth, a photograph, even a medical chart signed by him and witnessed by Sister Amala, his late wife's former aide. The inspector flipped through them, impressed by the precision. Then something caught his eye. 2 identical names, 2 identical photographs. Only the ink on one set was slightly newer. Mercer smiled faintly when asked. He said those were spiritual twins, children who had arrived from different villages but shared a soul bond. He explained that in their faith, it was common to record such children as one entry. It avoided confusion, he said, and symbolized unity before God. The inspector nodded, too weary from travel to question theology. In truth, the files were duplicates. Every missing child had been replaced, their faces replicated through chemical prints Mercer had developed himself, their names re-entered with new ink, their presence mimicked by others. The children the inspector met were those who had survived the chamber. They moved slowly, their expressions soft, almost empty. Mercer had learned to dose them with a tincture of laudanum and ground opium mixed carefully into their porridge. It dulled memory and will, softened their eyes, made them pliant. When he asked them to smile, they smiled. When he asked them to sing, they sang in the same trembling tone as those now sealed beneath the floor. To Mercer, it was not deceit, it was restoration. The lost souls had not vanished, they had merely been transferred. Through ritual and repetition, he had taught the survivors to carry the purity of the departed. Their essence folded into new flesh. The inspector left that afternoon with a glowing report. He shook Mercer's hand, promised commendations, and said the haven was a model of Christian virtue. As the carriage rolled away down the dusty road, Mercer stood watching until it disappeared beyond the banyan trees. Then he returned inside, locking the gates behind him. The silence fell heavy again. The smiles vanished. The children drifted back to their quarters, slow and dazed, their eyes reflecting nothing. That night, when the moon hung pale over the orphanage roof, Mercer descended into the basement. The air was thick with heat from the machines. The hum had grown louder over the weeks, as if the walls themselves were pulsing with a heartbeat. He lit the lamps one by one, the glow falling across the brass coffins in their circle. He whispered